Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another segment on Van Gogh. This is the third in a series of five, the second series on Van Gogh that we've treated. So this is another one of the miraculous paintings that you see on the screen, and before each of the readings this week, I'm showing a different colored picture of his just amazing paintings. And so this paragraph, this third one, is a little bit more complicated, so we'll have to go through it step by step in order to decode it and unpack it. So as they say. So here we go. And I mentioned before earlier that my assistant isn't with me today, so I'm just going to be asking you questions still, as if he were here, or he or she were here. And then as I do so, please try to imagine what the answers are, so we can work together in decoding these sentences. Also, I'll be reading out loud, and please repeat after me when I say everybody, and so that you get a sense of the feeling and the sound of the sentences. Okay, let's see if you can see my mark here, right here. Okay, so here we go. Reading the first sentence. Ready? Here we go. Du siehst, ich vertiefe mich mit aller Kraft ins Malen. Ich vertiefe mich in die Farbe. Everybody? Okay, so this is just a second person singular. You see, this is Van Gogh speaking to his brother in a letter. And where's the, up to here, where's the verb complex? Good, I'm glad you included the reflexive pronoun for ich vertiefe mich. Tief just means deep, so ich vertiefe means I go into more depth into something. Ich vertiefe mich, I go into more depth with every power or energy. Ins Malen. What is this INS contraction for? Right, in das. So it always accusative. And here's a infinitive, malen, to paint, made with a capital letter, and that makes it a gerund. So it means the painting, always an ing word. So you see, I am deepening myself, or I'm getting more deep with all power into painting. And going on, ich vertiefe mich in die Farbe, again, the same verb. And here you have a directional accusative, and I am getting more, I'm deepening myself, or I'm getting more deep, or I'm involving myself more deeply into color, in die Farbe. Going on, ich hatte mich bis jetzt davon ferngehalten, everybody? Good. So here, fern just means distant, like Fernsehen is a television, like distance vision. And it means to hold myself back or away. So ich hatte mich, I had, pluperfect. Hatte mich is the full verb complex. Ferngehalten, here's the past augment put in the middle of these verbs. Whenever a verb has a separable prefix like fernhalten, then the past augment goes right in between the two. Okay, so I had held myself back from that, bis jetzt, up to now, and going on. Und es tut mir nicht leid. Everybody? So einem leid tut just means to be painful to somebody, or I am not sorry for something, as the idiom goes. And it is, just one second here. Sorry for the interruption. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. So, and I'm not sorry for that. So going on, hätte ich nicht gezeichnet, everybody? So würde ich eine Gestalt, just up to that point. Okay, so when you have a verb first construction, as you have in this sentence, and the following clause begins with a so, that's the indication that you're dealing with a conditional sentence in the first part. So, and this is in the subjunctive. If I had not drawn, or zeichnen is to draw, to make a sketch of something. If I had not drawn, so I would, würde ich eine Gestalt. So this is the first part of the verb complex in this quite long sentence, which we're going to sort of unpack here. So I would, or thus I would. Now, eine Gestalt is actually ends up being the direct object, which we'll see later, which you put a circle around. So I would, and then where's the verb complex all the way up to here? Let's actually read the second part of that sentence together, which we didn't yet. So würde ich eine Gestalt, everybody, die sich wie eine unausgeführte Terrakotta absetzt, going on, nicht empfinden und in Angriff nehmen können. All right, so Jennifer, I'll ask you, I'll just say the name as a name that I'll ask you as for each of you to think of yourself as Jennifer or Michael or whatever. So I would, and so Jennifer, where's the verb complex to make it personal? Ich würde nicht empfinden, here's part of it, and there's another infinitive. Actually, in Angriff nehmen, this is a idiom, and then können goes along with that too. So it's a long verb complex. So I would not, and then this is a modal auxiliary können, which you actually pick up first. So I would not, taking the negative here, I would not be able to perceive and to set my hand to in Angriff nehmen. Greifen is to grab on something, to take into Angriff, to take into a hand or start working on something. So I would not be able to perceive and to take into hand or start action with. So where's the direct object? A figure, ein Gestalt, and it means I think a human figure here, right? I would not be able to perceive if I had not drawn first or made a sketch first, as the implied. So I would not be able to perceive and to take and to set my hand to a figure, and then this relative clause describes something about this figure, which sich absetzt is the verb complex, which sets itself apart, simply absetzt, as an uncompleted terracotta. So obviously looking at a gestalt or a figure along the bank of the river or something or whatever he sees in a distance, he's just seeing them as an unshaped terracotta before he actually understands and starts to have a feeling about that gestalt or begins to take steps to understanding it in Angriff nehmen. Okay, longer sentence. Sorry for that. Going on, let's read together. Jetzt aber fühle ich mich auf voller See, everybody. Good. Verb is obviously where? Fühle, I feel. Fühle, English verb is a cognate to that. This is an idiom. On the full sea, that means in full command of the ship, is the idiom. And yet, however, I feel myself fully capable, etc., or in a good position. Jetzt, going on, jetzt muss das Malen mit der aller Kraft, everybody, die ich aufbringen kann, angefasst werden. So from here to the end, where's the verb complex, Jennifer? Right, muss angefasst werden. So this muss is a modal auxiliary, it must, and then anfassen means to grab hold of, it must be seized. So you would say it must be seized, and what's the subject? Singular. Das Malen. Remember we had above Malen the infinitive with the capital into the gerund. So the painting or painting, the subject of painting, must now be seized with every power or with every energy or with every force, and then this modifies what that is, which die ich aufbringen kann, which I can generate or which I can muster. All right, well, a lot complex in that paragraph, and I appreciate the way you've gone through this. And Jennifer, you did a great job in translating. Thanks so much. All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.